Yeah, I feel like I'll have to look here because I'm used to like looking at the screen, but now I have to look here. That's cool, I guess. And then the mic is like right there. This is cute too, though. Mm, I have two angles. Gucci. He's loving it. But the lighting is tea. This is good. Okay, so depression. Whew, this is the topic. Um, Honestly, I felt like I didn't even I didn't feel like I had depression because I never clinically like diagnosed myself as having depression, but definitely like the symptoms and the side effects that come with it, it's very much so prevalent. And I'm definitely the type of person who kind of like sweeps it under the rug because like I just have to like work. I have to just produce. I'm just on a steady state of go. So to be honest with you, I'm just not even like trying to fix it. I'm just pushing it to the back burner. And it's like, why the fuck do I keep doing that? Like, why? But I need to get shit done. Like, I can't. I can't. Like, all right, sorry about that. So I just had to go ahead and check to see like how this sound and how this look and stuff like that. But now that I'm pleased with how I sound and look, going back to like the topic at hand. So I of course I covered like not me not being like clinically like labeled depressed or anything like that. But honestly, it really just came with like I started noticing I felt different by like my mood, like how my mood, you know, was pertaining to my environment at the time. Like there's moments where I'm like really, really good and happy and just like, oh my gosh, yes, life. I love people. And then there's moments where I'm just like, ew, I hate everybody. Oh my god, like it's just ebbs and flows, you know. I can't really like put a finger when it happens or when it's like a flare up. Like it's not something that I can like really pinpoint, you know. Um I'm learning my triggers and that's something with like depression, you know. I feel like it's not like a one size fit most. It's an amalgamation of like different weird nuances that kind of just tick you off and it depends on the person. So like for me when I'm in an over it like stage. So I knew started feeling like depression for real like around 2019, at least like the effects of it. And the album that I was listening to at the time that was like really like oh my god, that was like in my playlist really bad was Over It by Summer Walker. And shout out to Summer Walker. First of all, that album top tier. That was like the best album of 2019, period. But anyway, I was listening to that, so I would call like a lot of my depressive episodes like over it moments. Like I'm just over it. It would be like a little phrase that I would coin. Me and my dad were kind of just like know when I would have this moment. I'm like, no, I just had a case of like the over it. I don't like I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm good. I'm done. And I would just shut myself off. And it was terrible because it was silent cries for help that I would kind of like do in a way, or I would hope that somebody would kind of like peer in. But I'm also like the type of person where it's like I make it hard for people to like let them in. And that's like another thing too that I've noticed with like depression. Like when I'm like in an episode really bad, like I don't reach out to anybody, you know. I just stay in my little bubble, you know. It just keeps me there and it's like you get comfortable in it for a while. Like of course you have to like, you know, ambulate, but you're on autopilot, you know? Like it's hard. You know, like I said before, I am trying my best with like identifying my triggers and stuff like that. But as a person who is currently going through, these episodes of depression, it's like, who is a freaking roller coaster? Like today, I was just battling in my head about like creating content, like just going back and forth and back and forth. That's another thing too, like in episodes of like depression, it's like the mind, it starts, I'm not gonna say attacking, but it could very much so go against you in a way. Like that ego is really serious. It will try to like keep you in a certain position, a certain place. And I felt like for a while, like I would get in my own head and I would just talk myself out of things. And I felt myself trying to like talk myself out of this. And for a while, like I've been wanting to do like podcast episodes consistently. I haven't even came out with, well, no, I can't say that. I came up with a name. It's Hey Girl Hey, but let me see. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm gonna just see how I feel. I'm just gonna be posting content, nameless podcast, until I come up with something clever and catchy. But I had to like literally force myself. No, you're gonna create content. Like you've told yourself that you were gonna do this. You told yourself that you was gonna get yourself out of a certain situation. You have to do it. With like depression, it's interesting because it kind of reels you back in. You're in your head, you don't feel like doing it. So now you're going to try to talk yourself out of it. Then you start piecing, you start breaking yourself apart by like pointing at little things that are like you would consider flaws that nobody else would really like look at as a flaw. You would zero in, literally destroyed yourself out of an amazing opportunity, you know? And there's moments where it's like you gotta bring yourself back to reality, but it's just like I can't face it right now. I'm just not in the place. I'm irritated. Like I don't want to be here. My environment is really like fucking with you. Environment also plays an important role too. Like if you're around people who, can comfort you and help you through, your depressive states, that's a plus. But if you have people who kind of agitate or instigate that, that's when it's like a red flag and it can be even more serious. And it could be like friends or family too. It really doesn't discriminate. It really depends on your situation. But for me, like environment definitely plays like a part because now it's just like I'm people's energy, especially, it becomes really sensitive to me during that time. And I really choose not to want to be around people because it could be very overwhelming, especially those with like fire and air placements. It's like, oh, it's really intense. And I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be around that right now. I kind of just want to be in my own like little shell, you know? So that's like another thing too with depression. I just, I wish there was like, well, no, there's therapy. There's therapy. I'm not gonna say I wish there was like I would say like therapy would definitely be something that would be helpful. I haven't looked at any like places for real for real. I'm kind of like also going through like the 20 somethings as well too. That's like another thing. Uh Not to get off topic, but like when you're kind of like I'm like in that place where I'm in my 20s where it's like, okay, well, I'm older, but I'm still young, but I'm not as like young as I once was. So I'm like I'm 25, so like now it's like I'm in that transitional period. And that's where it's like I'm really on myself like the most because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm like 5 years away from 30, and what have you accomplished? And what are you trying to do? Who are you? Who are you trying to become? What's up with modeling? What's up with this? Like I'm just now really on myself. And it's only because it's this steady comparison. Like I'm comparing myself to like people around my age and you know people within my community, whether that's black or LGBT. So, because social media, oh my gosh, that's a motherfucker right there. So I'm just steady scrolling and comparing, and I'm not even like looking at the things that I've done or like I want to create, and I'm not even putting myself out there. I'm just looking at these people and just like wishing, not knowing what it is that they went through or what is it that they're going through, and I'm just wanting and wishing that, and I'm like, wait, no, babes, like I'm lit too. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to you have to like come back to yourself at sometimes, and I find myself with depression, like I will go into moments where I'm just like not my best friend like at all. And oh man, I'm really like trying to work on that for real. It is definitely like a work in progress. I'm not gonna say like it's the easiest thing and it's gonna like go away miraculously. Like no, that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like that I feel like stuff like that takes time. You can't just wish that away. I have been journaling a lot more, so there's a start. I'm trying to get into like the whole scripting thing and whatnot. Um, it's working, I'll say. Like for the most part, I do feel better. I don't feel like I'm just like overwhelmed with all these emotions because I'm also the type of person to like hold in my emotions. I don't like sharing it. Well, it depends on the person. Like if I feel comfortable around you, of course, I'm gonna share, but I'm not comfortable with just like everybody that I meet. Like I'm very cordial and friendly, but like you're gonna get a certain amount. You're not gonna get the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be someone significant to get the whole thing. You feel me? So, I need to be like around people who are more like that. I feel like they bring me out the most. But I don't be wanting to be around people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because like I'm extroverted with introverted tendencies. It's crazy. I don't know. Honestly, for like anybody who's like really going through depression, all I could really say is like I totally understand where you're coming from. It is an everyday battle. It is not easy. There's moments where you just want to like give up and you're just like, why the hell am I even continuing? Like, why does everything have to like go this way? Like, honey, you're not alone. I feel you. And like, babe, we're gonna really get through this for real. Like, we're gonna get through this. Like, this is gonna be like a thing of the past. We're gonna come back and we can be like, girl, remember when we wasn't like, we was feeling some type of way. We was going through like our little burrito moment, our little depression thing, and now look at us. We're outside. We were like, we really here. You feel me? Like it's gonna get better. You, especially around like spring, summer, things start to like look up. But honestly, tell me how you guys feel. Like for those who have depression, like what is it that you do to like get to cope with your episodes? What are your coping mechanisms? I'm gonna be honest, honey. It's been a lot of weed. It's been a lot of weed. Oh man, a lot of weed, a lot of sex. Oh god. It's been that. And just, yeah, weed and food. That has been the coping mechanism. Not great coping mechanisms. Do not do that, you guys. Like, those are horrible coping mechanisms, but those are ones that are like comfortable to me. Are those your coping mechanisms? Please let me know, like in the comment section, like for real, because I'm curious. I also want to like get to know you guys more, so I'm gonna like make a Discord chat so that way we could like chat and stuff like that. Cause yeah, I think Discord is cool. I want to like build a community. So yeah. Until next time, peace.